Full Frontal. I'm Samantha B. By the end of the day, it's almost certain that Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson will be confirmed as Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson. And even though it's not officially official yet, as of this taping, I'd like to congratulate her by being the first to say, yes! Okay, happy time over. Back to the horror. With her previous experience as a federal district court judge, appeals court judge, public defender, and member of the bipartisan U.S. Sentencing Commission, Jackson is hyper-qualified to be a Supreme Court justice. There's really no good reason not to confirm Judge Jackson to the Supreme Court, but that's just fine with Republicans because they have no problem making up a bunch of absolute goat shit.
You also have a consistent pattern of giving child porn offenders lighter sentences.
I've got a 9-year-old, a 7-year-old, and a 16-month-old at home, and I live in fear that they will be exposed to, let alone exploited, in this kind of material.
I want to deter people from going to the internet and downloading a bunch of child porn by putting them in jail longer, not less.
Lindsey Graham, you owe that woman an apology. I want you to say, sorry, Miss Jackson, and then woo, and then say, quote, I am for real. Republicans are horrifically and disrespectfully attempting to twist Jackson's record. It is absurd and infuriating to have to say this, but she, like every other person who has faced this recent allegation of choice from conservatives, is in no way supportive of pedophiles. Republicans are intentionally making baseless accusations because they have nothing else on which to fault her, and they know they're arguing in bad faith. Otherwise, they wouldn't have absolutely lost their goddamn minds every time Jackson tried to respond.
Can I explain why, sir?
I'm going to give the witness an opportunity to respond to you, Senator.
Finally, how's it being committed now?
Would she please
Go
let
ahead.
her complete her answer? Senator, would you please let her respond?
No, not if she's not going to answer my question.
Senator, I didn't say I'm not going to answer.
Okay, well,
I
then
said
please
my
tell us
answer.
in this fact.
Ted Cruz is absolutely incapable of letting a woman finish. He's also incapable of getting a woman to start, but that's a story for another time. Fake worrying about pretend pedophiles is an easy way for Republicans to score points with their base, especially with the recent rise of debunked child abuse conspiracy theories.
Save our children!
So I would say I follow Q. Like, let's get to the bottom of the allegations of child trafficking.
The heart of the conspiracy theory is the baseless belief in a satanic child trafficking operation that has global reach.
Yes, all of this stems from QAnon-approved conspiracies like Save the Children, Pizzagate, and the latest one, Save the Pizza. It's a theory that Book It was actually a way to target less cool children from the 90s. Not to traffic them, to identify them and to humiliate them. As nonsensical as this rhetoric sounds, it's becoming more and more mainstream. A 2020 poll found that 17% of Americans believed that a group of Satan-worshiping elites who run a child sex ring are trying to control our politics and media, while 83% of Americans responded, why the would you call me during dinner time to ask me that question? Perhaps the most batshit part of all of this is that Q believers think only Donald Trump can put a stop to it. Which, if true, means this man is sure taking his time getting around to it. Look, if Donald Trump was going to save us all from a cabal of satanic pedophiles, he could have knocked it out literally any time in the 4 years of his presidency. But as much as QAnon has been debunked, it's still going strong, which means Republicans are more than comfortable Q whistling to the stupidest people on the planet.
These Republican politicians and their allies in conservative media cannot just come out and say, there is an evil cabal of liberals running a child sex trafficking ring. They realize they sound nuts. So instead, they find these not so clever ways to play footsie with the people that do believe that, like accusing Judge Jackson of being sympathetic to child abusers, wink, wink.
People like Ted Cruz and Lindsey Graham may cynically use this disgusting rhetoric as a ploy, but there are also scumholes like Marjorie Taylor Greene who are true believers.
Marjorie Taylor Greene took things a step further, tweeting that Murkowski, Collins, and Romney are pro-pedophile because they voted for Judge Jackson.
It is a disgrace that someone in our government is accusing people of something so vile and despicable without any evidence and without anyone in her own party saying, hey, idiot, maybe stop. Besides, Mitt Romney doesn't support endangering children. Everyone knows Mitt Romney only supports endangering dogs. But the most hypocritical part of it all is that there are actually people in their own party who are endangering kids.
Now we're going to have the latest on Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz. He's facing an FBI investigation over allegations of a relationship with an underage girl.
He calls them all liars, but more and more former Ohio State University wrestlers are coming forward to say their former assistant coach, Congressman Jim Jordan, knew student athletes were being sexually abused.
The marriage law is up for discussion at the Tennessee State Capitol. The bill would eliminate an age requirement.
There are concerns this could open the door to sex abuse cover-ups.
The GOP's obsession with family values has always rung hollow, and they've shown their asses on pretty much all of it. This nonsense prevents our government from accomplishing anything of substance, which is what they would do if they actually cared about kids. We'll be right back.